Hey everyone, the numbers are in for Calypso in Panama City Beach for July 2022. I'm Craig Duran with the Duran Group over at Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices. I've been really interested in digging into the specific Calypso market now. We've been very active in there, but I wanted to look at the July numbers. I knew we were going to see a slowdown, so I was curious to see what happened. I haven't dug into the specific market in video since May 10th. I just looked at my notes. So I do want to take the time and go through a list of all the sales that have been happening. I know probably a lot of you have seen that already, especially those of you who are on our e-alert system. But I wanted to go through and make sure you saw what was happening with the market. Most importantly, let's start with this. So this is the overall condo market. You guys are very familiar with this chart by now, I hope. Remember, the red line represents the number of units that are for sale in the entire beach. This is about the beginning of the pandemic here. You can see now, just since January, we were at the low of our inventory levels in 2 years. In other words, our supply was as low as it's been since before the pandemic. We had the least amount of condos for sale. Look at what's happened just since since January until now. We're well past pre-pandemic levels. We're now May 2022 is here. We got back to about pre-pandemic levels. Actually, they were a little bit higher. This is only August here, so they were a touch higher. But we've now shot up to above pre-pandemic levels. And look at this months of inventory. This is really, really important to digest. You guys know I hammer this in all the time. So this is January when we were at 0.51 months of inventory. Theoretically, that means that the entire condo market at the time would have sold out in a half a month. Another way to think about that is if you were putting a condo up for sale, you would sell very, very quickly. You might even expect to close within the month that you put it up for sale. But look at what's happened to that number. Up until last month, we were watching this. We were slowing down a little bit. Incrementally slowing down, not a massive jump, but we've jumped from 3.52 to 8.67 in 1 month. We're twice as slow in the month of July as we were in the month of June. 3.52 to 8.67. Another way to think about this, 0.5 months of inventory in January. We're over 16 times slower in July than we were in January. The pace of condo sales is very, very, very different. Couple of things about the month of July. It's not unusual for us to write fewer contracts on condos in this month. Plenty of people are on vacation, doing a little less business. A lot of condos, even buyers who are serious about trying to buy something, can't get in and see as many of the things that they would like to see because so many of the condos are rented. So it's not surprising that July is a little bit slower maybe than the rest of the market for the rest of the year. So what we're going to watch the next 30 to 60 days will be really interesting to see if we spike at that 8.67 months of inventory, or do we come back down a little bit and write a few more contracts this month and into September. It'll be interesting to see. 8.67 on paper is very much a buyer's market. 4 to 5 months or so is neutral. Neutral market territory, you expect pricing to remain about the same, maybe slight appreciation like real estate normally will see. The longer we hang out in buyer market territory, 7, 8, 9 months, 10 months or something like that, every month that goes by that we're in buyer market territory, that really puts pressure on prices to come down potentially, because all these people thinking about selling who want to sell, what they're going to have to do at some point is deal with price because there's so many things for sale. Looking at Calypso specifically, I was really interested to see what was happening in July, because look at what happened in June. I didn't do a video on Calypso in June or last month to talk about June, but we had spiked to 20 months of inventory. We were back down to 13 months of inventory, which is still very much buyer market. We have so many listings for sale in Calypso right now, but it's actually a little bit better than it was in June. Again, like I was just talking about on the overall market, these are still very, very, very much buyer market numbers, and not slight. These are extreme. Once you get to 6 or 7 months of inventory, you're into a buyer market. Double digits is a very, very slow market. So it'll be interesting again to see what happens August and September, considering we've seen a slight improvement in the inventory number. To go through Calypso specifically, I promised I'm going to go through the last 90 days of activity, but I'm just going to focus on what has gone under contract and what is sold, because take a look at this. We have 69 units to talk about over the last 90 days or so in Calypso. Let me just start here. So Tower 3, there's a 1-bedroom unit under contract. The asking price is $510,000. It's on the 16th floor. Tower 3, well, I can't go through all of the 4 sales, but let me rattle it off a little bit for you. A couple of 1-bedrooms for sale in Calypso Tower 3 on lower floors. These don't have quite the views from a height standpoint that 11, 12, 16 and up do because of the hotel being built next door. 809, the price has been reduced. These are all for sale. 1010 is under contract. Asking price was $527,900. There is a contract on that. It doesn't mean that $527,900 is the sale price. That means that's the asking price still. 1805, we worked on this one, closed at $539. This is in Tower 3. Still, all these are in Tower 3. Here's where you start to pick up the Gulf side. Unit 707 is asking $539,800. It's still available for sale. 2207 in Tower 2 is on the market. Asking price $539,000. It's for sale. A couple of other recent sales, $540 for Tower 3, 2105. We worked on that one also. Tower 1, Tower 2, 1403 closed at $542. Tower 3, 2208 closed at $548. Still a lot of units for sale here. We're still in 1-bedrooms. Here's a Gulf front master in Tower 2, $549,800. This particular unit, this will be interesting to see what happens here. This one is really, really in excellent condition. Very, very clean. This is also another nice unit here, Tower 1, 2203. Tower 1, 907 did close at $555. This was a couple of months back, but is one of the higher sales we've seen recently. Tower 1, 1207 on the market still for $560. Still in 1-bedrooms. There's 31 bedrooms. You saw the couple that are under contract or sold. Everything else is for sale. Jumping over to the 2-bedrooms now. Of course, most of the 2-bedrooms are going to be, or the 2-bedrooms will be on the Gulf side, since the 2-bedroom, 2-bath with bunk plan in Tower 3. Now, the bunk room was converted to the 3rd bedroom, so everything over there will be a 3-bedroom. Tower 1, 2304 closed at $740. 1706, we're working on this one. It does have a contract. Asking price was $754. One of the end units in the East Tower closed at $769. Another 2-bedroom with bunk closed at $785. Another one closed $795. A couple more units for sale. Over in Tower 3, you can pick up one of those. Asking price is now $795, under $800. Still more units for sale, 809, 819. Tower 1, 1402, asking price $829,999. It is under contract. 849. Tower 1, 1404. This is an extremely updated unit, 2-bedroom, 2-bath with bunk. $850 is the asking price. A couple of other closings that happened sort of early before the market has slowed down a little bit. Tower 2, 1701 closed at $860. 1406 closed at $880. We're into the high 8s now. Now this is all for sale, for sale, for sale. Lots of for sale in Tower 3. Go to a couple of the ones that closed just before we slow down a little bit. Tower 1, 1901, we worked on that. $1,160,000 closed. Couple other units that are out there for sale. We also worked Tower 2, 2009. No, that one we didn't work on that. 1.3 sold. Asking price, Tower 2, 909, 1399. Gives you kind of a good idea. Some of the ones that stand out to me also, Tower 3, 2209. If you haven't seen the views from this high on that side of Tower 3, this unit's in really, really excellent condition. The views are pretty phenomenal there also. Couple takeaways. I know that's a lot. Almost 10 minutes of scrolling, but there's a lot for sale in Calypso. You've got to be priced really, really well with so much competition. I think you also have to be a little bit patient right now. The next 30 to 60 days will sort of dictate which way, in my opinion, will sort of dictate which way the market will head. We could see a few more contracts being written in August into early September as rentals start to die down a little bit. People go back to work. We'll usually do a little more business between now and the, say, early November. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some more of these units that are for sale go under contract, which might improve things in the market a little bit. So if you're selling two things, price has to be a lot tighter. We can't be as uber aggressive as we were 3 and 4 months ago. There's just too much competition. If you do, the other thing, if you're really into data and charts, I compiled some from 18 different economists, articles and opinion from 18 different economists of where the housing market may be headed. So check that out. I've just posted that on the blog on the website. It gives you some really good reading on the idea of what's going to happen in the housing market from an economist standpoint, not just one, but 18 of them. So take a look at that. This is only going out. I'm posting it on the YouTube channel, of course, but it's only going out to Calypso owners. So feel free to post this around and share it with owners that may not be on our distribution list. I have a lot of you, but plenty that I don't. So if you find anybody that you think may benefit from this stuff, let them know. Please share it with them. I'm going to do this again on a regular basis so we stay on top of what's happening. Again, the next 60 days we'll have to watch and see what happens. Again, I'm Craig Duran, the Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. Thanks for watching.